Prime.
Indeed, this is Joy News Prime, your most authoritative channel, and you're watching us from our studios in Accra. We're also live via the ABN channel 235 if you're watching us from Europe. My name is Aisha Brian. Coming up this hour, police arrest 5 suspects in connection with murder of a Boakwa North Member of Parliament, Joseph Boache Dankwedu. Criminologist Professor Kenatefa says is urging the police not to embark on panic arrest, as that may limit the investigation. Noah Flagbearer of the opposition NPP calls on the police to do a good job in investigating the death of the Boakwa North MP.
And in business, government excise tax stamp project to be rolled out next month as part of efforts to ensure tax compliance and improve tax administration.
In other news, head of the European Union delegation in Ghana warns of urgent need for African leaders to create job opportunities and develop agriculture to help prevent illegal migration into Europe. Details of all of these plus more coming up shortly. Many thanks for your time. We begin with the police who earlier today dispatched a crack team of experts from the homicide unit to the residence of the late Boakwa North MP. The team, according to the Accra Regional Police Command, will resolve the issue as soon as possible. So far, 5 suspects comprising 3 males and 2 females have been arrested in connection with the killing. The Regional Police PRO, ASP Ifiatenge, has been speaking to the media on the latest.
At about 1:25 a.m., a distress call was placed to the police concerning the unfortunate incident, and the police swiftly proceeded to the scene. On arrival, the police found the victim in a pool of blood and rushed him to the police hospital, but was pronounced dead on arrival. His body has since been deposited at the police hospital morgue awaiting autopsy. Police preliminary investigations. Police preliminary investigations indicate that the victim suffered multiple stab wounds from his attacker or attackers, which led to his death. The police is saddened by the incident, and as I speak to you now, a high team of police investigators comprising of crime scene analysts and homicide experts are presently at the scene for crime scene reconstruction and gathering of forensic evidence. For effective and efficient investigations, the residence of the deceased Member of Parliament has been cordoned off. Meanwhile, 5 persons comprising 2 females and 3 males have been arrested for interrogation. The police hereby wish to solicit the cooperation and support of the general public in order to get to the bottom of this unfortunate incident as soon as possible, to volunteer credible information to the police, to enable the police to unravel the mystery surrounding the death of the NPP lawmaker. Individuals with information could contact the police regional high command on the following telephone numbers: 024 024 233 024, I take it again, 233 7477, 024 233 7477, or 020 8166 148, 020 8166 148. any development regarding this unfortunate incident that will not compromise investigation will be shared with the general public through the media.
Meanwhile, criminologist Professor Kenatefa is cautioning the police not to embark on panic arrest of suspects of the murder of the MP for Ibuakwa. He's, however, advising the police to open up to all the alternatives that will lead to the arrest of the perpetrator. He spoke to Jifa Bampo on Newsnight.
It is crystal clear that if events occurred as alleged, this is a clear case of murder on our hands. I think, however, that it is too early yet, and the facts do not support, at this point, a conclusion that we have a case of contract killing on our hands. The danger of assuming that this is a political killing or that this is a contract killing is that it may have the tendency of foreclosing other viable and prudent options for investigation, that there may be other key leads that the police ought to attune their minds to, but which may be foreclosed or missed or undervalued if we quickly rush to the conclusion that this is a case of contract killing or political murder of some sort. This is sadly growing tall. The MP for Tafu is his murder is joining a long list of people: Senate Archery, the EPA boss, the 55-year-old businessman in Tema, the Zenith Bank employee, the EcoBank manager in Kumasi, and it goes on. And of course, more recently, or as far as November 4th of 2014, the heinous killing or death of the MP, the district chief executive for Nkwanta South, Honorable Kenyan. So all of these killings remain unresolved. But I think that the police ought to keep an open mind, reach a quick resort to the conclusion that because these are high-profile personalities, their deaths might have been triggered by a political desire, that these are political killings or these are instances of contract killings, may foreclose other viable possibilities.
He's, however, disappointed the police has already handed over the house of the MP, which is also the crime scene, to the family.
Police competence when it comes to matters of forensics. But given the nature of this crime, given the fact that from what Mr. Atachia was saying was, Honorable Atachia was saying was is actually what happened, that even at the time the assassin presumably escaped the premises, police personnel and other bystanders were in the front yard of the house. It speaks volumes about our ability to quickly sense what is most important and to deal with them. In crimes of this nature, you want to delay penetration, you want to frustrate, you want to delay the ability of the intruder to gain access. And even when they gain access into the yard, to delay their ability to gain access into the house itself. In this case, you have mention of a ladder by the window, sliding windows being opened or jammed to gain access. You have a blood trail, and you have sandals of the presumed assassin. In all of these circumstances, it may seem to the police that it's an open and shut case, but I beg to differ if that is the view. I think that a little bit of would have been helpful, that the police could perhaps have maintained this as a valid crime scene, a legitimate place to cordon off and to keep out all persons and not turn it into a shrine just yet.
Well, a member of parliament for Ebuakwa South, Ata Achia, says he is disappointed with those who suspected foul play at the site of a ladder leading to the bedroom of the late MP did little to arrest the perpetrator. Speaking to Evans Mensah on Top Story earlier, Mr. Achia said he suspected the perpetrator of the heinous crime was still in the house when some neighbors and policemen cordoned off the entry to the house. Here is his account. We apologize for that. We'll bring you the sound shortly. Meanwhile, Joy News Kwabna and Prechum has been to the crime scene of the late MP's house, tracing where the assailants could have escaped through after the barbaric act.
Have been finding out how the assailants escaped through the back of the house. This is the back of JB Dankwa's house, and on top here is the balcony where the assailants are believed to have escaped through after they have committed this heinous crime. You can see on the walls over here some footprints over there, and those footprints are actually blood stained, and it is believed that the assailants passed through here, tried to use the wall to get down, and you can also see some footprints down here as well with blood stains, and then they went all the way over here. They passed through the grass over here, and then they went behind this poly tank. And behind this poly tank, they escaped. You can see over here some footprints as well as some palm prints, the police tell us. So it is believed they scaled the wall into the next house after committing this crime. And that is how the assailants escaped. For Joy News, I am Kwabna Osei Asare reporting from the house of the slain JB Dankwa, MP for Ebuakwa North.
A book of condolence has also been opened in honor of the late Member of Parliament for Ebuakwa North.
Advisors have been
Still talking this shocking news, Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Edward Duajao, is leading calls for the public to assist the police in unraveling circumstances surrounding the murder of the Member of Parliament for Ebuakwa North, Joseph Boakye Dankwa Edu. Describing the death of the MP as shocking and unbelievable, the Speaker said Parliament will collaborate with the society agencies and the security agencies in their quest to bring the perpetrators to book.
I'm using this opportunity once again to tell the national security of the state, the police, and indeed calling on all Ghanaians who have any information to assist the investigation to come to make it available to the police so that we get to the bottom of this matter, because the mood, you would have seen the mood in the house today. Nobody was in the mood to work. So immediately I entered the chamber, and after the prayers, we thought that we should come and join you, commiserate with you. We will be available, and if there are any new development from our end, we will keep the family informed, at least for now. That is all I can say. Words cannot describe how we feel as a house, as a parliament. Words cannot describe it. I want to assure you that our hearts, our prayers and our thoughts are with you at this difficult and trying moment. And if there's anything, you can call on me, my leadership, and the house. Thank you.
Let's now tell you more about the late MP in the following profile report.
Joseph Boakye Dankwa Edu was a grandson of the renowned NPP founding member J.B. Dankwa and was born on July 2, 1965. He was a member of parliament for Ebuakwa North constituency in the eastern region of Ghana on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party until his untimely death. In 2010, he was the Deputy Minister for Women and Children's Affairs under former President J. Kufuor's administration and won the Ebuakwa North seat in the December 2012 elections after defeating the National Democratic Congress's Victor Smith. He is part of a 19-member Special Budget Committee chaired by the Majority Leader. Mr. J.B. Dankwa Edu was a chartered accountant and was the Executive Director of Automotive Springs Ghana Limited between January 2005 and January 2009. He is survived by a wife and 2 children. The MP suffered a similar attack in August 26, 2010, where his 24-year-old girlfriend was alleged to have conspired with 2 men to rob the MP.
The opposition New Patriotic Party is, however, suspecting foul play in the stabbing and killing of the party's member of parliament for Ebuakwa North in the eastern region. Acting National Chairman of the NPP, Freddie Blay, told journalists the circumstances surrounding the killing of Joseph Boakye Dankwa Edu points clearly to a well-planned and executed assassination.
At this stage, the leadership of our party, the NPP, is calling on all our party faithful to remain calm, steadfast, and mourn over our departed brothers with dignity. The leadership of the New Patriotic Party have also directed that all party flags in our various offices across the country fly half-mast in honor of the memory of the late Ben Kwao and the late Joseph Boakye Dankwa Edu and other departed party faithful. It's worrying. If for the past few years, I'm not saying these are new murders, there haven't been any murder in the country since its inception, but it's becoming one too many. And in these instances that I've cited, no result have come out. And we are a bit worried, particularly over JB death. Here is a member of parliament, somebody come to his house, or somebody come to his house, kill him in bed. It's shocking. We are worried. And we are asking the police that it should be happening. Should do something about it this time around. We are not saying you haven't done anything. You were there. I was there this morning. I thank the investigation. But we want them to do a swift, professional investigation so that it doesn't happen like what has happened in the past. That's all we are saying.
The Ebuakwa North constituency, a stronghold of the opposition NPP, has been thrown into a state of mourning following the murder of their MP. The attire of many residents in several communities Joy News visited is a traditional mourning colors of red and black. Other mourners were wearing 2012 campaign T-shirts of the late J.B. Dankwa, who first entered Parliament in 2005 and has been re-elected twice in 2008 and in 2012. Joy News' Echo Sam was one of the reporters who arrived at the crime scene. Here is his report.
When the news team arrived at the Shiashi residence at 5:55 this morning, the place had been swarmed by personnel from the Ghana Police Service. His wife and children had been pushed into a black four-wheel drive, ready to be taken away from the crime scene. Accra Region Police Commander, COP Dr. George Kufudampari and his men were busily gathering as much evidence as they could from the scene. The late J.B. Dankwa lived in a one-story house. The ground floor has burglar-proof windows, however, the other floor is without burglar-proof. The house has a 3-foot wall around it. Flowers are embedded in the front parts with barbed wires all around the walls. Checks revealed the assailant or assailants scaled the gate, after which they entered his bedroom with the help of this ladder. The late MP was stabbed and the assailant or assailants exited the building through the back. The private security man stationed in his house says he has no idea how the assailant or assailants entered the premises. His residence is in a quiet neighborhood. The neighborhood has 2 entry points. One entry point has a checkpoint, while the other does not have. Family members, friends, and business associates throng the house with sullen faces. Some members of the opposition New Patriotic Party, which he belongs to, have been to the scene to ascertain the news. From Shiashi here in Accra, Derek Akos Sam for Joy News.
Flagbearer of the New Patriotic Party, Nana Akufo-Addo, says he is devastated by the death of the MP. Police preliminary investigation suggests that the late MP was stabbed to death. The MPP flagbearer is, however, calling on the police administration to do a, quote, a good job, unquote, by bringing the perpetrators of the gruesome murder to book.
Indeed, with the most horrible news. Doubly so for me because I'm finding it so difficult to... He was with me yesterday. He came with his wife and members of the wife's family. They came to my house yesterday to inform me about the death of the wife's aunt. The usual funeral, JB came with them. Spent half an hour, 45 minutes in the house. His usual gay, laughing, attractive self. And this morning, early in the morning, the Honorable Kennedy Ajapon was the one who woke me up with this awful news. Yes, and especially when you've been around for some time, the idea of death is something somehow or other you try and adjust to. But really, the circumstances of this death, the way it has happened and the timing has been particularly awful, very horrible development. Young family, young wife and young children. One's heart goes out to them. And just pray that the Almighty will give them the strength of character and the ability to bear this, because it's most shocking. It's most shocking. All things aside, he was also family. We came from one big family together. And he has always been very, very supportive of me, the efforts I've been making to lead our party. To count on him. And he's been somebody always very willing to look into things, to give you... He never hesitated to speak his mind on anything that he thought required his comment. I like people like that. And never had problems disagreeing. But he would give you the benefit of his views. Deeply, deeply committed to our tradition and its values and its history. We've lost a very important member of our family, literally, in my case, as well as of our political family. The people of Kokranchimi lost, and Buakwa North have lost a very vigorous advocate. Our politics is the poorer for the fact that for me, somebody like JB has had to check out so early in his life. It's a tragedy. There's just no way there. I'm hoping that the police will do a good job, find out who's responsible, and allow the law to take its course. I'm not looking for vengeance, but it's a heinous crime, and it'll be good for all of us if those responsible for this crime are caught, those or the person, whoever, caught, apprehended, and dealt with according to law and with due process. I think that's what the whole country is hoping for and expecting.
We can now take a listen to MP for Ibuakwa South, Ata Achien's account, who says he is disappointed at those who suspected foul play at the site of the ladder leading to the bedroom of the late MP, but who did little to arrest the perpetrator.
What was sad was that when the guy saw the ladder, he called other people around, and even then the policeman came around. But they were not wise enough to, surround the property. So the guy just, left the place through the back side of the house. The seller was in the building, and some security personnel have been called. Now, as a matter of fact, the policeman have been called. But they were not wise enough to have gone behind the house or cordoned off the area, surrounded the house as it should be. So the guy tactically, realizing that they were all standing in front of the house, left through the back door and then hopped onto a water tank into somebody else's house. You could see the blood stains all over the place, and then left. He left his sandals also behind. That's the evidence we have. I'm tempted to come to some conclusion that this might be a contract killing. You see, these are the kind of arrangement in which you hire somebody to say, go do one singular thing, finish this man off. And this is how I can say, because it was a question of cash, mobile phones and laptops. The story would have been different. The man timed him well, climbed into his bedroom using the ladder and stabbed him. So he came for him to finish him off. And this is where I think the foul play is coming from. So it's not just a question of the accident, but who is the hireling, who is the contractor himself. That is the whole point.
May his soul rest in peace. We'll take a short break on Joy News Prime. We'll be back with more. Now time to do business, and Emmanuel Abuajiria is here. Emmanuel, what are we talking about in business today?
Well, in our top story, come next month, the government is to roll out a new tax, excise duties on products imported into the country and also produced by some manufacturers. It's actually a tax stamp that will be affixed onto your products before you sell out to consumers. And that's really to help rationalize the tax administration system in the country.
And how are businesses taking this?
Well, importers are not so happy though, because they think it's too much tax.
Let's see what they're saying, Emmanuel.
Hello, good evening. This is Joy Business, and just about a month from today, manufacturers and importers of products currently attracting excise duties would be required to affix on their items government tax stamps. This would mark the rollout of the excise tax stamp project captured in the 2016 budget as part of efforts to ensure tax compliance and improve tax administration. More in this Business Desk report. The policy is to be implemented from the 7th of March, will be preceded with port demonstrations and trials from the 1st of March. The products in question include tobacco, alcoholic beverages, among others, which attract excise duties as an indirect means of discouraging their patronage due to reasons like their health implications. The producers are to buy the stamps from the Ghana Revenue Authority, which would then be able to better ascertain how much duties is expected to be paid by any particular company. The goods of importers would also be subjected to their fixing process on each item before the goods leave the ports. A stakeholders meeting towards the successful implementation of the policy was held in the latter parts of December last year. It emerged the long-awaited contract for the public-private partnership operations at the ports has been signed, paving the way for their fixing machinery to be installed at the ports. The Food and Drugs Authority and the Ghana Standards Authority are also said to have given their approval for beverage manufacturers to have fixed their stamps on the crown of their bottles for now, while a better alternative is worked on for the near future. Now, business confidence in the economy for the last 3 months of 2015 dropped. This is according to the latest business barometer survey by the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI. The association launched the 2015 fourth quarter report today.
The Business Barometer survey samples the views of top chief executives on the business environment. The latest edition highlighted the cost and supply of electricity as the #1 challenge for business between October and December 2015. The unstable currency was the second biggest challenge, which was followed by the taxes, including mainly the energy sector as levy. The base index for the survey is 100, and this dropped to almost 96 points. President of AGI, James Asare J, spoke with Joy Business at the launch of the report.
The introduction or maybe increases in tariffs, electricity, water tariffs, and other forms of taxes, have further worsened the business confidence that industrialists, or for that matter, the private sector, have in the economy. And this is quite worrying. That is why we have called for the need, for government to look at some key areas of the economy which would require boost. We are really in discussions with government in relation to stimulus arrangement, to shore up manufacturing. Cost of capital has become a worrying situation. Apart from availability, we are talking about also access, the cost of it. If you are paying over 35%, it's very worrying. We have persistently called on government to set up a stimulus package, to support key sectors, especially SMEs.
Now, Finance Minister Seth Terkper has announced estimates outlined in this year's budget and indicated he would be presenting a supplementary budget to Parliament in the coming months. At a press conference to outline some strategies government is implementing to turn around the economy, Seth Terkper underscored the essence of further funding commercial projects on public debts.
We know debt has been, of concern, so if we spend some time on our debt management strategy, the reduction in the deficit, as we saw, is one of our strategies for controlling the debt, because the deficit, when financed, is what goes into treasury bills. We may all like the high treasury bill rate, but that is the direct result of government borrowing and increases the domestic debt. We have also adopted various debt management strategies. Some of them, we've been talking about them, that when we borrow for commercial projects, the project should pay for the loan. It shouldn't be the taxpayer who should pay for the loan. So we are placing a lot of our commercial projects, on public debt, off public debt, and into a self-financing mechanism, which is leading to the on-lending and escrow, mechanism that, we are putting in place. During question time, we can discuss some of these policies, but we have mentioned them, in previous times. So if we sustain the deficit and we sustain the other debt management policies and depend on the pipeline, disbursements, as well as, the pipeline projects. My colleagues has been, hearing me a lot talking about focus on pipeline projects. We don't have to borrow for new projects all the time. As you all know, there are roads, hospitals, schools, and others, including some by the statutory funds, which we need to complete. And in just focusing on using disbursements of existing debt, and the budget resources to complete them, we can continue, and that's what we are doing. Continue with investments, as we have outlined here, without, and still put in a cap, and then as the on-lending begins to pay back, it also means that, that it's not just the taxpayer who has to be paying. And this is where the restructuring of the energy SOEs, become, very important.
Now, still in business, the French city of Bordeaux is to partner government in developing infrastructure, agriculture, education, and other economic sectors in the northern regional capital, Tamale. This forms part of major highlights as the 33-member French delegation explores investment opportunities in areas like power generation, oil and gas, and manufacturing.
France, which has over the years focused on Francophone African countries in terms of donor assistance and investments, now appears to turn in its attention to Ghana. The partnership to develop the Tamale economy is one of the many projects the renewed Ghana-France investment and economic ties is expected to yield. This came to light when the 33-member French delegation met some members of the Ghanaian business community as well as officials of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center.
The first thing is to understand expectation of the Ghanaian people, of the Ghanaian authorities, Ghanaian companies, and to explore the possibility of development, to partner and develop in power that can be on-grid centralized power, off-grid solutions, mainly in gas on one side and renewable on the other side.
The chief executive of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Maureen Treba, also explains to Joy Business measures are being instituted to ensure that Ghanaians derive maximum benefit from this new relationship.
The reality is that globally there have been quite a number of challenges for many economies. What we've had to do is ensure that we are showcasing the best, whether it is small, medium or large size Ghanaian companies. What are the things that are doing that will make them appealing for the international business community, and how do we then translate that into our critical sectors of development? Those are some of the things that some of the strategies that I think have supported us.
It's now time to go on to the stock market to take a look at the performance of the commodities, the stocks, and the currencies. John Amakon is here. John.
Well, Emmanuel, I think today, according to the AGI, AGI barometer, we do know for a fact the reasons why some people, some investors aren't really much interested in our stock market. One, we do know for the fact that interest rate is very high, has been very high, and it's been on agenda. And you do also know that interest rate has some inverse relationship with the performance of the stock exchange. Anytime interest rate goes up higher, there's this tendency that the stock market will go down. And anytime exchange rate also do go high, it gives alternative to investors to invest in the dollar or the pound instead of the market. So exactly now, CEOs and investors are telling us the reason why these things are happening on the market. So I think now we have some concrete reason. Today, we did not see much, but we saw only two equities trading on the, moving the market, but they were all in the positive regions when Aluex added 3 pesos to investors' capital, and then EcoBank Ghana also added 1 to the capital. So basically, these were some of the performance. These were what happened on the market. Commodities. You know, Iran is also on the drive to increase their volumes of production, putting supply pressure to the price of oil. That is exactly what is happening. And also, the other OPEC region also trying as much as possible to pump a lot more to outdo the United States as in their shale technology, basically. So this is actually forcing a lot on the market, putting in excess of 1 million barrels per day on the market. That's also forcing or compelling the price of oil to come down. That's one thing. Gold is still maintaining its own. Today it added $12.30 to reach somewhere around 1,177 per and then cocoa also added $29 to close the market at 2,853. So that's exactly what is happening. These are not that much, but at least the recovery rate has been quite marginal, but I think it's quite a good signal. But on the currency market, we are still not seeing much. I think today the only power exhibited by the cedi against any major trading currency was the euro. The cedi gained against the euro today by closing the day around 4 Ghana cedis, 30 pesos, if you want to get 1 euro. And of course, the pound also did the same. But against the dollar and the Chinese yuan, the most used in Ghana, we are still not seeing the recovery. It's really not coming. And I think the Afrobarometer indeed at the same time also give reasons why some of these things are happening the way they are doing, because investor confidence is quite low in the country.
Thank you very much
for
that update. Thank you. John Amwako is our stock analyst, and that wraps up the business segment for tonight. My name is Emmanuel Apwaji. We have to keep watching.
Welcome back to Joy News Prime. Let's do more. Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Edward Do Ajao, is leading calls for the public to assist the police in unraveling circumstances surrounding the murder of the Member of Parliament for Buakwa North, Joseph Boache Dankwa Edu. Describing the death of the MP as shocking and unbelievable, the Speaker said Parliament will collaborate with the security agencies in their quest to bring the perpetrators to book.
The entire membership of the House, including staff of the Parliamentary Service, sympathized with the bereaved family after suspending sitting in memory of the late MP. Minority Leader in Parliament, Osei Asare, and his colleague, Majority Chief Whip, Mohammed Muntaka Mubarak, spoke to Joy News about the demise of the Buakwa North MP.
You have
told us what you know about this unfortunate incident. It is a tragic incident that no one expected. Just a few days ago, he came to inform us about the late Dr. J.B. Dankwa. So we just came here to really understand what happened.
We know that all of us will definitely die one day, but the circumstances of his death is what is really, really shocking and very tragic. I mean, to have killed our colleagues violently in his own home is something that is very shocking for all of us. On behalf of the Majority Leader and the caucus, we really extend our sympathies to the family. We hope that when the necessary arrangement is made, we will be duly informed and we will fully participate in all that needs to be done to give our colleague, brother, a very befitting burial and funeral. Let me take this opportunity to say, even though the police have briefed us that the security agencies of our state, we demand that they do whatever it takes to get to the bottom of this.
Speaker of Parliament Edward Do Ajao said he received the news with shock and recounted his last meeting with the departed MP.
JB was in my office last week and brought a statement to me that he wants to pay tribute to his grandfather, Dr. J.B. Dankwa. And when he brought the statement was about 6 pages. So I told JB that he should try and reduce the number of pages. He was in a very good mood. He didn't look like somebody who was worried at all. One statement that he made, in the course of our discussion, was that he has learned a lesson from what happened to him some few years ago, and that since then he tried to be a very careful person.
The death of the MP for Buakwa North, Joseph Boache Dankwa, has reignited calls by MPs to be provided with security. They say the time is right for serious consideration to be given their request.
This brings to mind our security. And this is not the first time a member of parliament has been attacked at home. Honorable Benito Owusubio was attacked at home. Honorable Gifty Clenham was attacked at home. Honorable Robert Safu-Mensah was attacked at home. Our colleagues on the other side have had their fair share of it. So you ask yourself, if ministers of states have security, if deputy ministers have security, MMDAs have security, and members of parliament serving their country, their motherland, serving their constituencies, our security cannot be guaranteed. That's a serious issue. And this is a clarion call on the Speaker of Parliament and leadership. It's not a privilege. We are demanding it. And I think that it's about time. We've spoken about this not once, not twice on this floor, several times.
It behoves the leadership of this Parliament of ours to beef us our security for us. If I were telling them about 2 years ago that we need security for honorable members of Parliament, they have securities for themselves. And we, the members of Parliament, don't have security. So now everybody has seen the problem now.
I believe this must be properly looked into. It is not just a pedestrian conversation, but this is a subject that we need to think through. As a people, as a country, we need to protect our citizenry. We need to protect our statesmen. We are not just ordinary members walking about, but we are statespeople. We represent our people, our townsfolk, our community.
Away from the MP's death, Flagbearer of the People's National Convention, Dr. Edward Mahama, is calling on the National Peace Council to intervene and help bring lasting peace to the conflict-stricken areas in the northern part of the country, particularly the Bunkurugu district. Dr. Mahama made the appeal when he called on the governing board of the National Peace Council in Accra today.
The conflict in Bunkurugu has spanned several years and there is no end to the bloodshed yet. Recently, renewed clashes between brothers fighting for the right to be unskinned claimed several lives and left many properties destroyed. The PNC flag bearer, Dr. Edward Mahama, who hails from Nalerugu, says the tag of the North being poor saddens him, considering the fact that the North is highly endowed with natural resources.
The area that we are talking about, a lot of Ghanaians don't even know where Bunkurugu is. But I can tell you that the largest carat diamond ever found in Ghana was found in the Nakwanduri Scarp. And the shaft is still there. A colleague of mine who works as a nurse when I was at Nalerugu Hospital decided to build his clinic in Bunkurugu. He didn't have to buy paint. He went into the scarp and dug up paint and painted the buildings. There is clinker there. And yet these people are killing one another because there is no peace, there is no development, no jobs. It is our conviction that if the national, through the emphasis of the National Peace Council, we are able to bring peace, then investors may even come for this diamond, which is still lying there.
The president of the Peace Council, Most Reverend Emmanuel Kweku Asante, promised to play a central role in bringing lasting peace to the North.
Anybody who comes with an open heart to promote peace will receive that person. And we want to assure you that whatever we, in our limited capacity, can do to facilitate peace in our country, peace which is a condition for development, we would cooperate with that person.
He also urged politicians to embark on issue-based campaign to ensure peaceful elections.
This year is an election year, and we will plead with you because you have come as a moderating voice, somebody who is committed yourself to peace, to try as much as possible to also get in touch with your colleagues, and also may I appeal to all your supporters to be mindful of the things they say, because as you said, our politics should be an issue-based politics, and we hope that this year we will do politics in a civil manner.
Meanwhile, Most Reverend Emmanuel Kweku Asante, on behalf of the governing board of the National Peace Council, received a copy of a documentary by Joy News' Kwam Boatin about the conflict in Bunkurugu and how to bring lasting peace to the area.
We're still live on Joy News Prime. We'll be back with the international segment. Now time for the interactive segment. Well, to know what we'll be interacting about very shortly. Ifwa Akwa Harrison is here and she'll be telling us more. Ifwa.
Hello, Aisha. It's been quite a somber Tuesday with news of the murder of Ibuakwa North MP Joseph Boachi Dankwedu. MPs are calling for the state to provide security for them, and this is what you've been saying.
Causes for a major security to be provided for the MPs because they are very important. They are standing in for us in our various constituencies.
8,000 Ghana cedis as their own salary, so I think they should get themselves some land guards that will help them.
We are still talking religious issues. This time we're asking if you think government should regulate the church.
Government should have control over the church in ways that pastors don't abuse their congregation. For that one, yes.
They take advantage of everything. The noise, though I'm a Christian, but it's too much.
And a cry for help from a resident of Atebubu, Isaac Owusu, will join us later on in the show to tell us about the water problem plaguing his area. Please join us as well with your comments on social media in about 40 minutes on the interactive segment. Aisha.
Indeed, Ifwa Akwa Harrison will join me shortly with the interactive segment. We'll take a break and we'll come back with more. So let's do a recap of stories making headlines on Joy News Prime tonight. Police arrest 5 suspects in connection with murder of Ibuakwa North Member of Parliament Joseph Boachi Dankwedu. Criminologist Professor Kenatefa is urging the police not to embark on panic arrests as that may limit the investigation. Meanwhile, Flagbearer of the opposition NPP calls on the police to do a good job in investigating the death of the Ibuakwa North MP. In business, government excise tax stamp project to be rolled out next month as part of efforts to ensure tax compliance and improve tax administration. Now to the rest of our stories. Head of the European Union delegation in Ghana, Ambassador William Hanna, warns of urgent need for African leaders to create job opportunities and develop agriculture to help prevent illegal migration into Europe. William Hanna says lack of prospects in the West African sub-region is to blame for the phenomenon. He was speaking at the meeting on the implementation of a 5-action plan in Accra aimed at addressing the root causes of migration.
Economic Community of West African States and European leaders met in Valletta, the capital of Malta, in November last year and agreed on a political declaration and common action plan to manage migration flow. The Accra meeting with the International Center for Migration Policy and Development and ECOWAS was to map out concrete actions expected to be implemented by the end of 2016. In an interview with Joy News, the head of the European Union delegation in Ghana, Ambassador William Hanna, charged West African leaders to create job opportunities in the sub-region to help prevent the phenomenon of illegal migration.
It's more urgent than ever before to give an alternative. And I think if there were alternatives in these parts of Ghana, then the young people would take them. But it's the lack of prospects for the future which is leading some of them to take the risk. Others realize the risks they're facing, but some are prepared to take them. And what they face as they go across the Sahara, the stories that people tell of that is appalling. It's not an easy option. It's a dreadful option. And even if they get through, then they maybe face death in the Mediterranean. So it's something which we need to provide information about, but we also need to work on alternatives, job opportunities for the future.
Representative of the International Center for Migration Policy Development, Emerintia Erasmus, said the group will ensure that concrete initiatives to move the action plan forward are adopted.
We hope that this meeting, which is gathering the ECOWAS member states, the ECOWAS Commission and other partners and international organizations, will help to develop possible initiatives which can be used to maximize the development impact of migration.
Elements of the action plan are designed to address the root causes of migration, launch projects linking relief to the vulnerable in the sub-region, facilitate responsible private investment in agriculture, as well as double the number of scholarships for students in West Africa, among others.
Now talking about health, it is becoming unbearable for health facilities in the Upper West region to cope due to delay in reimbursement from the National Health Insurance Authority. The National Health Insurance Authority owes health facilities in the region an amount of over 19 million Ghana cedis as at December 2015. The last time some of the hospitals were reimbursed was in May 2015. Acting Upper West Regional Director of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Winfred Ofosu, who disclosed this at the Upper West Health Review meeting, warned the health care delivery in the region could collapse if the situation continues. A report by Rafiq Salam from Wa.
The three-day annual performance review seeks to assess the progress implementation of health service delivery system in the region for the year 2015. It is also to assist identify challenges and opportunities which affect or promote health service delivery and to finally come out with measures to address emerging challenges with the health sector. Acting Upper West Regional Director of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Winfred Ofosu, expressed concern over delay by the National Health Insurance Authority to reimburse clinics and hospitals in the region. He warned if the situation continued, it will lead to the collapse of healthcare in the region. Another issue of concern to the acting Upper West Regional Director is the increase in cases of human rabies, where 15 people lost their lives in 2 years.
As of today, February 9th, our health facilities have been reimbursed only up to May 2015. It is sad to note that not even all hospitals are fortunate to have received payment up to May 2015. The impact of this is gradually becoming unbearable for the health facilities, and if no prompt action is taken, healthcare delivery could suffer seriously. As at close of December 2015, the total indebtedness of NHIS to our facilities stands at 90,387,891 Ghana cedis, 55 Ghana pesos.
Upper West Regional Minister Amin Amidu Suleimani used the opportunity to lash out at nursing trainees in the region who refused to go for clinicals at the various hospitals in the region. Rafiq Salam's report from Wa.
In recent times, the international development community has been discussing a term relative to population and development, that is demographic dividend. This week, Curious Minds, a young group focused on adolescent sexual reproductive health, is hosting a regional conference to discuss what the subject means and where Ghana stands in the global view. So what are demographic dividends and why should it concern you? Join News Justice Bay to find out in the following report.
Faces of young people with dreams cut short. This is Bongo in Ghana's Upper East region. This district is one of the places with the highest number of teenage pregnancy cases. In Ghana, adolescent people initiate sex as early as 10 years old, according to the 2014 Demographic and Health Survey.
Because they don't have any good work to do so that they can support themselves and their children. You see that sometimes some can go to armed robbery, some can go to fornication or prostitution, some can enter into stealing, and at the end they can lose their lives.
And that is what this young woman here is fighting in Bongo. Take the story of Asibi, for example. Got pregnant aged 15, dropped out of school at class 6, gave birth, and now doesn't know what the future holds.
Because
Mana song to seven cooking school, I song to school poor. Never not to hate a honor of poor is never.
Asibi is just one of hundreds of girls with similar stories. And this is what Curious Minds, a youth group focused on adolescent sexual and reproductive health, is seeking to shine a light on.
Sexuality moves beyond sex. Sexuality has to do with the whole human being. Every human being is a sexual being, and at a point in your life, you would express that sexuality. In the second decade of life, there are remarkable changes that take place. Emotional changes, physical changes. And this is a new road for young people who are transiting to adulthood. And so they need to be taught or guided on how to manage this period. So if you don't give young people access to the relevant information that will help them navigate this road, then it becomes problematic.
As the attention of the entire African region is focused on the issue of demographic dividends this week, it is important that the discussion is sustained to keep such important subjects as sexual reproductive health on the table.
Sex has consequences, and as many young people continue to have it unprotected with unplanned families, Ghana's fertility rate would continue to rise. It means a lot for the quality of life in such impoverished communities as this one. This has impact on teenage pregnancy, vulnerability to sexually transmitted infections, and even unsafe abortions. So the big question then remains that it's Ghana and Africa as a whole ready to reap its demographic dividends. Justice Pedu, Joy News, Bongo.
We'll take a break on Joy News Prime. When we come back, we'll do some entertainment.
Entertainment news is brought.
Welcome back to Joy News Prime, and Miss G is here with the entertainment segment. Miss G.
Hello, Aisha.
Remember your school days?
Really, I'm reliving my school
pinafore.
days. I actually remember all the punishments, so today I decided to wear pinafore, you know, just to relive the memories and to tell every senior of mine that you can't punish me anymore.
I'm
a big girl now.
Junior.
Exactly. But I love your skirt, you know.
You do?
You're preparing for Valentine's.
I'm already in the Valentine's
I see.
mood.
It is that long. I love long skirts like this, you know.
Miss G, what's up?
There's a lot to talk about for entertainment today. You know when I get to meet Miss V is Miss G and Miss V.
Okay.
And we get to talk about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Also, we get to have
GMV.
we get to have some fun. And this time around is Miss V, who has a song with the Fancy Van Damme. And that's Papi Kojo.
Okay.
And it's called Minsurobia. She's been telling me why she decided to put together Minsurobia. And then telling me who among the older folks, that's the older musician, she would like to collaborate with.
In
and
future.
Also, now that she's collaborating with Nigerians, why the move?
Okay.
Robia is just, I mean, saying don't be scared of anything, just push for what you want in life. Go ahead and grab anything you want in life. There's no, there's nothing to block you. Yeah, there are no limitations, just go for it. Yeah.
But of all the people you could have collaborated with, why Papi Kojo?
Because the guy is fun, and I shot my last video before the song with him, and he's really cool, and he's an amazing rapper, so yeah, why not?
I've seen you do a lot more collaborations with the younger folks. You guys are leaving the older ones out, and they are waiting for you to come to them. How come we haven't seen you do anything with any of the older ones?
Well, you never know. You never know, something might be coming up. I have a lot of people in mind.
Tell me about them.
First off, Kojo Nchi. I like his style, I think, and I like his music. It's really soothing, it's really cool, and he's just a cool guy. I think he is a very talented musician, so yeah, I definitely like to, and he's a legend.
Now, as a man of love, you can recount the first time you fell in love.
Oh yes.
Okay. So how did you feel like?
I don't know if it was love. It was in high school. I have no idea what it meant, but yeah.
So what do? You writing letters?
Yes, letters, and I kissed a few times.
How many times?
Oh, maybe 3 times, 3 or 4 times.
You are in high school?
Yes.
What were you doing kissing?
On vacation, you know, when my parents are not watching. Hi, mommy. Hi, daddy.
And you did all that?
Oh, yeah.
And so what happened to the guy?
I don't know.
What would be your ideal Valentine vacation?
I'm sure it'll be somewhere really isolated and really quiet, serene, where I can have time to myself.
With whom?
To myself, just me.
Just you?
Yeah, just me.
Valentine.
Just me chilling.
Harder, go harder. Every day's so biting. Make you leave me, make a.
She's bored.
You know, she says, hi daddy, hi mommy.
Yeah,
anyway, so
I did it a long time ago.
That's it. But still talking about kissing, just as Miss V has insinuated, sorry.
Yeah.
It is Bisakade this time around kissing some other lady other than Becca in his new video. It features a song that features Obrafo and it's called Samina. And we see Bisakade kissing some lady.
Is he married to Becca?
No, but I thought he said that they are trying to, you know, do something. So I'm just, you know, if Becca hasn't seen the video, I'm just trying to help her to see it and see whether she will love it.
What do you gain from this?
And I'm telling Becca, see Bisakade kissing somebody else, you know. So if you ever think, still more kissing. But this time around, no more kissing.
No more kissing.
It's now singing.
Okay.
And Stacey's birthday was yesterday. Her husband, Kofi, Ochami Kofi, and her were together at on Drive Time on Joy FM. And he decided to sing a birthday song for his wife. Let's see how lovely he did it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Stacy. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
You wanted to reggae?
Happy birthday to her. Oh, it's belated.
Yes, it's
now.
belated. So happy belated birthday to her. But Charlie, I didn't feel the dance. So
So it's happy birthday.
It's happy birthday.
That's it.
Happy belated birthday. Okay. So you know, yesterday Omotola was responding to Leila Jansi. In 2014, I think, her daughter was then 14 years.
Who are we talking about? Leila
Omotola Ejelade Ekainde, the Nigerian actress. Now, her daughter's picture was on Instagram, and a blogger picked up the photo and put it on his blog and said that the daughter's picture was hot and sexy. It didn't go down well with Omotola at all.
Mom,
She came defending her daughter. Now her daughter is 16 and Omotola says she's adult enough and she has taught her and all the kids of hers how to handle themselves publicly.
She was very young. She was just 14, and you know, with this new internet and all of that stuff, it's very difficult to watch these teenagers. Okay, and I'm an African woman, and I believe that, you know, like they always say, it takes a village to raise a child. I believe strictly in that, and I believe that any adult anywhere that tries to take advantage, you know, of a child, of a minor, you know, you should be very ashamed of yourself. And so basically, what it was she put out. I mean, my second daughter, she's more like me. She's more the entertainment. She's the one who's in fashion and stuff like that. And she was just finding her feet. And that's also when she's discovering the internet. So she's putting some pictures out there. They were not bad per se, but they were pictures that I thought were a little bit too risque for a 14-year-old. But you use some certain terms, you know, for a 14-year-old, like, oh, she's hot, she's sexy. And then she went and did the unimaginable, this journalist, and put her school name out there. I thought I was just going too far. I thought it was very unprofessional, but most importantly, unhuman. But now she's 16. So now she knows better. She knows there's some pictures that are not necessarily bad, but they're suggestive. So she's schooled now. They are well trained in not just as human beings, but also in the art of public presentation.
Aisha, I guess you've got work to do. You need to train your kids as to how to handle themselves publicly.
Definitely.
Because their mother is a superstar.
Yeah,
and she's always in front of the camera.
But she's still a big girl, but she's still a baby.
16 years. Who says 16 is an adult?
She's not a big girl.
From where, anyway, some people say 16 at 16 you can get married. So that's
no, not in Ghana.
Kids.
In Ghana, it's 18.
Really?
Yes.
In Ghana, 18 to vote, but I think 21 to get married. I don't know.
No, at 18, you can do whatever adults do.
Oh, okay, I hear it's 16 as well in Ghana.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so...
But I won't allow my daughter to get married at 60 because I didn't.
Anyway, so that's it for entertainment. Entertainment was brought to you by Airtel, the smartphone network. Keep wearing more of this long skirt, Aisha.
Miss G,
yes.
Thank you for bringing the entertainment news. We'll take a break. We'll bring you more on Joy News Prime.
Entertainment news was brought to you by...
So Nathaniel Arthur is here with the sports segment. And Nathaniel, we're told somebody won some award and they've not been giving the money?
Well, it's about the Commonwealth Games that was staged in 2014, the year of the World Cup in Brazil. This was in Glasgow.
Right.
And this boxer was one of 2 athletes who won medals at the Commonwealth Games. He's been promised $3,000 US, and the money is not
nowhere
in.
to be
We're in
found.
the year 2016.
Interesting. So let's see what's up coming
All
up.
right, so I'll tell you the story of Wahid Mohammed, a member of the national amateur boxing team who won a bronze medal in the flyweight division of the boxing event of the last Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland. Now, Wahid Mohammed, I beg your pardon, Abdul Wahid, has not been paid $3,000 US, which was promised by the government of Ghana for winning bronze at the Games. Now, Abdul Wahid Umar has been speaking to Joy News about this situation and how frustrated he is about it. He wants government to do something about this.
They promised me How much did were you promised, first of all, and who made that promise?
Oh, they promised me 3,000 if you won your bronze, and the silver is 5,000. So I think gold is 8,000 or something.
$3,000.
Yeah, for bronze.
Okay.
And I won a bronze, and after now, I didn't get my money. When we are there, they just told me that after I won my bronze, we couldn't finish. And they told me that, okay, there they cannot pay me on there unless I come to Ghana. So that they're going to call me to go and meet what minister or government. So there I was very, very unhappy there because I told them why. They promised me they're going to pay me us the money. Then and now to the team they said that we should come to Ghana. And I was very, very feel bad. And my coach told me, called me and told me, oh, I shouldn't worry. This one is not an African Championship. It's a big game, so they're going to pay me my money. I shouldn't worry. This didn't happen that I was saying before. And I was very bad. I said, no, coach. Okay, now I listened to my coach and I understand. I said, okay, we should come to Ghana. When you can, they're going to call me. After we come to Ghana, I've been waiting for their call. Since then, I didn't get their call back. And I called my coach asking to see what I told you there. I like the team. I like them. And like fighting for Ghana national team. That's why it's key. But now I can see that you are doing something and you are not getting reward for that and the thing that you are doing. I mean, now I'm able to turn professional or because now I'm doing the thing that you are not getting any reward when they promise you to grab something and they are not fulfilling their promise. I mean, that makes sometimes when I think about it, it makes me feel bad. Like, I love the nation too. That's why I'm still in the national team. And I want to achieve something big for national team. I'm still working hard and you are not. I mean, I'm a human being. I can feel sometimes. I can feel bad and you see. So when you the thing is like we are in national team. It's not that I have some work that I'm doing. It's boxing that is in my business. So how can you promise someone to do that and do this and the person didn't do the thing well and you are not? I mean, you want the person. You know, the person will feel bad because I'm a human being. I'm pleading with the government. They should do something about it. Thanks.
Well, that was Abdul Wahid Umar, who won a Commonwealth bronze medal in boxing at the Glasgow Games in 2014. Now, attempts to reach the Youth and Sports Ministry for a response on this matter have proved unsuccessful. So we're going to bring you more on this developing story. We move on to table tennis, where the team, the Black Loopers, are preparing towards qualifying for the Rio 2016 Olympics. The team made up of 2 players. I'm talking about Derek Abrefa and, of course, Felix Latte, are looking forward to qualifying from an upcoming qualifier next month to make it to the multi-sport event in Rio, Brazil.
So far, we have about 28 entries from these African countries, with about 56, participants going to vie for about 6 positions. So you can imagine, the kind of competition that we have to enter. We need to prepare and prepare well, and this is exactly what we are doing. We started, as you see them playing, at the last All African Games, we were able to determine where our teams went forward, and this is where we strategize and polishing up our strategy to go and face Africa, the rest of Africa. Okay. At our recent performance in games, the recent performance, they qualified for the World Championship, slated for Malaysia. This is quite a good omen for, Ghana table tennis. The players with that determination, as I told you earlier, and preceding the qualifier, we have this top 16, which we have 2 of these players that you see assembled here going to participate. So it's a morale booster, going in for the top 16. Then immediately after the top 16, we're going in for the qualifier. So it's good for those 2 players who are going to enter for the top 16, and preceding, we're going to have, the qualifier for the Rio Olympics.
All right, that was the national table tennis coach, Anthony Owusu-Ansah. Let's now move to the National Sports Authority, who manage all our stadia all over the country. Now, the National Sports Authority has put in place a plan to use internally generated funds to settle outstanding electricity bills owed the ECG. Now, the National Sports Authority is having terrible times managing many of the stadia across the country, most of which are not without electricity. And the PRO of the National Sports Authority, Frederica Mensah-Davis, has been speaking on this subject.
The IGF also services our utility bills that have been accrued over the years. And for instance, we have sat down and
by IGF you mean internally generated funds?
Internally generated funds. That's like money's coming out of our events that we've been having at the stadium. And we have an arrangement of a payment plan with the ECG. Every month we pay over 160,000 Ghana cedis to the Electricity Corporation of Ghana.
Okay, is this only for the Accra Stadium or all other, all of your other, establishments around the country?
I can say for a fact that with the electricity bills that has accrued, it's all over the country.
Okay.
And I speak as
so it's for all of our stadia across the country, is that right?
Exactly. Okay. So. Exactly so. As I speak now, the hockey pitch owes the ECG over 300,000 Ghana cedis, and they have been disconnected. In the past, we were not managing the facility.
All right, so that was the National Sports Authority's PRO, Frederica Mensah-Davis, there talking about no lights at the various stadia and how they want to address the issue. Let's go to basketball now, because the Detroit Pistons lost by a score of 103-89 to the Toronto Raptors. Take you to Live Score, where we check the scores between West Ham United and Liverpool. Liverpool living in not too pleasant times, and at just 47 minutes of action, West Ham United are up by 1-0 in the English FA Cup tie between West Ham and Liverpool. So that's it for sports on Joy News Prime. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and I have love for sport.